And the one who is poor, as in humble, and of a contrite spirit, and who trembles at my word. So I can't offer anything to God that isn't already his, or that he hasn't given me the ability to do. And unless a person is willing to confess that and humble themselves so as to receive the kingdom of heaven like a little child, they won't be able to enter. Not because God hasn't provided entrance, he's provided everything, but because they refuse to receive his provision. They insist on doing it themselves, on their own, in their own non-existent power. You can't. And his whole understanding, interestingly, it came to light a few weeks ago and kind of shed a light on the question that a lot of people have with regards to the president's salvation. When he made the comment in the news, I want to try to get to heaven if possible. I hear I'm not doing well, then I'm at the bottom of the totem pole. If I can get to heaven, he said on Fox News, this will be one of the reasons, speaking of his ending of the Ukraine war. Donald Trump, he's been a real friend to conservative Christians and Christian values, but that is a perfect example of what Jesus is teaching right here. Who's the greatest in the kingdom of heaven? Well, of course, the person who ends the Ukraine war. That's a person, obviously. That's the thinking. And your heart kind of drops because you have such high hopes for the guy. But in his mind, he would be standing before God with his chest out. Yep, here I am, the one who ended the war, like God couldn't end the war at any time. Like, oh, gee, thanks, Donald. I couldn't have done it without you, man. But that's a perfect example. Unless a person is converted and comes to the recognition that I have nothing to offer God, any more than a little child has to offer their parents besides maybe their dirty diapers. Here's what I got. This is what I bring to the table. I need God to do it all for me, or I won't enter the kingdom of heaven, Jesus says in verse 3. And Jesus went on to describe how valuable any such little ones is what he calls those who do humble themselves. Those who humble ourselves to follow him, those who put all my trust in Jesus and nothing in this world. Jesus described how valuable then my fellow believers are and how I should make every effort to help and encourage them and make sure I don't do anything to stumble any of these little ones.